Now I'm going to show you how to use the Octi-Hoops for free motion quilting. Free motion quilting has been done traditionally using hoops that require you to apply downward pressure, but with the Octi-Hoops our quilt will actually float on the sewing machine. First, before I created this quilt that I have here, I took a template and put it on a light box and then traced the top layer of material with that design using a wash away marker called Mark Be Gone. And then you trace over it. You'll see some of the ink is still visible here, but that is because I left it so that you could see. The rest is all completely gone. I used just a damp washcloth to wipe it off. And here we go. We have just a layer of batting in between two layers of fabric. And we take and place this underneath the presser foot. Oh, but there is no foot. So remember, you remove the presser foot and you remove a lot of the problems associated with quilting. One, puckering, the other, it causes the fabrics to kind of slide, and without the presser foot in the way, you can see very well what you're quilting. So we'll be able to follow along the line that's disappearing on, or will disappear. Go ahead and place one hoop underneath and the other frame on top. And beneath, you're going to rest your hand on the frame that's beneath it and place the handle in the smaller frame on top. And the opposite hand that you don't write with brings the corners of the bottom and the top frame into one another. And the quilt floats, real light touch. You don't have to push down at all. So you're going to choose where you're going to begin and bring your bobbin thread up through. I set my speed at 3/4 speed, and if you don't have speed control, just want to be mindful of the speed and try to keep the same speed as you go. This is speeding because I am steering, and I'm steering with this crayon-like tool that I drop into the hole. I'm now a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to slide the bottom frame over, slide the top frame over, and continue. So there's no need to stop as you proceed across your quilt. Slide the frame down, slide the frame down. Bring the corners into one another and continue your path. If you feel that you're getting uncomfortable, stop and readjust. Make sure that you're always elbows down so you have more control on your steering. And if the frame starts to slide off the edge, then you can put your thumb beneath the frame on the bottom and in on the top frame. So you really are kind of lifting the frames up as the quilt floats. So you're not putting any burden on your hands or your wrists and elbows, shoulders, and I feel super relaxed when I do this now. Slide down, slide down. Make sure you're comfortable, elbows down, shoulders relaxed, and continue. Make sure you use a wash away marker, not a air dry, or you'll find your lines starting to disappear on you. Slide over. Slide, slide. And you can just slide and rearrange if you're uncomfortable. As I'm quilting, I'm not looking at the needle. I'm kind of looking ahead of where I'm going, seeking out the line that I drew. Just like when you write, you don't look at the tip of the pen as you write, you look where you're going. And make sure that you don't actually lay your arm on the actual quilt, or it will stop it from feeding through as you move. Now you can see that my hand, now I have my thumb on top and my 3 other fingers underneath holding the quilt up from beneath. So the position of the body changes as I go. I'm not really conscious of it, and I've learned to just kind of relax as I quilt, not pay much attention to the position that my hand is holding, because as long as you're not feeling discomfort from squeezing and pushing, and you're liking what you're seeing, then you know that all is good. So you can see that even though the size of this frame is relatively small, that it doesn't matter how big the item is that you're quilting, because you aren't actually hooking this frame to anything. Just bringing the corners of one into the corner of the other is all that we're doing to make these frames move as one. Make sure those tails don't distract you. Move them out of the way, and this is how we'll have a nice clean knot at the end. Almost done. Now, I did a few stitches and tied a knot. If you don't like to do that, you can go ahead and take all your threads through the eye of a hand sewing needle, and then take that needle down and in and through and pull it out, and your threads get stuck inside the quilt, so nobody can tell where your stitches began or ended. And since I'm not trying to win a competition here, I just tied a knot. This will make a really nice pillow front, so if you're not ready to make a quilt, perhaps you're ready for a pillow top. And on the back side, you'll see that There are no puckers on the back of this, despite the fact that this hasn't been basted in any way. And you are welcome to baste your quilts, should you want to. However, I don't suggest that you use safety pins. I hope you enjoyed learning the basics of free motion quilting using your Octi-Hoops, and look forward to bringing you many other quilting techniques that you can do with these wonderful tools.